So, you've probably heard the buzz about this new tool, the Hermes Agent. People are throwing around some pretty big terms, like the first everything agent. But what does that actually mean? Is it just another coding assistant, or are we talking about something fundamentally different? Let's get into it and figure out what really sets Hermes apart.
Okay, first things first, let's get one thing straight. This is not just another version of something like Claude or Codex. It's not trying to replace them. The creators are saying this is a totally new type of AI agent. And, to really get why, we first have to talk about the big problem it was built to solve.
All right, so if you've ever used one of the big AI agents out there, you know what I'm talking about. You feel those guardrails, right? Those built-in rules and, honestly, opinions that the company behind it forces on you. They tell you what you can do, what you can't do, and it feels like you're trying to work inside this little cage they designed for you.
And boom, this really hits the nail on the head. Most agents are what you'd call opinionated. They're built with one very specific, very rigid way of doing things. Hermes, it's the exact opposite. It's all about freedom. It's about letting you call the shots and define the whole process. And this whole philosophy is built on a few key ideas, starting with a big one, ownership.
Which brings us to the first huge game-changing difference. Hermes is completely open source, and that means it's totally customizable. We're not talking about some closed-off black box product from a giant corporation. Nope. This is a community project. You get to be in total control. So how does that actually work in practice? Well, for starters, the code's right there on GitHub. It's got over 500 contributors already. You actually download the entire thing and run it locally on your own machine. And this is so important. Because it's local, the agent can literally look at its own code to see what it can do. It's kind of self-aware in that sense. And check this out. If you need a new feature, something it doesn't do yet, you can just ask the agent to write the code for you. And if you want, you can even contribute it back to the whole project with a pull request. The bottom line is, it's designed to adapt to you.
And that right there is the fundamental shift. You're not just renting access to somebody else's service anymore. You are running an agent that is 100% yours. You can mold it, shape it, and make it fit your needs perfectly. And this idea of true ownership, well, it leads us to the next big freedom. Okay, so the second major freedom is all about the engine under the hood, the large language model, the LLM. You know how it is. Most agents, they lock you into their model, whether it's from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, whoever. But let's be real. As any developer will tell you, there's no single model that's the best at everything. Just doesn't exist. Think about it. Let's say you're building a website. That's not just one single task, right? It's a bunch of totally different jobs. You've got your back-end logic, your front-end UI design, you've got to do security testing, manage databases, and then you have to write all the copy for the site. The idea that one AI model is going to be amazing at all of those things, it's just not realistic. And this is exactly where Hermes shines. You get to pick the best model for every single job. So, for instance, you could use the newest GPT model for all that heavy back-end coding. Then you might swap over to Gemini because it's great at spitting out user interfaces. And for the website copy, maybe you tap Opus because of its creative writing skills. See, other agents make you compromise. Hermes lets you be the conductor, orchestrating all the best tools for the job. Yeah, and this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Sometimes you have a model that's a genius at logic, but when you ask it to write something creative, it has the personality of a freaking stone. I mean, come on, that's why being able to choose your model isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It's absolutely essential to get quality work done.
Okay, so we've got a customizable agent. We can use any model we want, but there's still one more huge pain point with pretty much every other agent out there, and Hermes has an answer for it. Let's talk about memory. The problem is, well, it's simple. Most agents have amnesia. You know the drill. You start a new session, or you just switch from one task to another, and you have to explain everything all over again. The agent forgets your preferences, forgets the project goals, it forgets what you were just doing 5 minutes ago. It is just so inefficient. So what's the Hermes solution? A unified shared memory. It keeps one single continuous context across everything you're doing. That means you can be coding your backend with that GPT model, then switch right over to writing copy with Opus, and guess what? Both models instantly know the entire context of the project. No more repeating yourself ever. And it actually gets even cooler than that. It's not just about remembering stuff.
The agent has a built-in self-learning loop. It's literally watching how you work, and it starts creating new skills for you automatically in the background. Think of them like little shortcuts or custom commands. So the longer you use it, the more useful it gets. It actually grows with you. And this isn't just some marketing fluff. There's a user out there who has over 200 skills saved in their Hermes agent. And the best part? Most of them were created automatically. See, this is how it stops being just a tool you use and starts becoming a real partner in your work.
So let's put it all together. You've got total customization. You can use any model you want, and it has this persistent, self-improving memory. When you combine all of that, yeah, you start to see why people are calling this the first everything agent. So let's just recap the big ideas, the core freedoms here. You can run it anywhere you want, local, cloud, whatever. You can use any model you want. You can customize any workflow. It learns and grows with you. And the biggest one, you are the one who decides how you work. Look, this all points to a massive shift in how we think about these things. For so long, we've had to change how we work to fit inside the boxes these AI tools gave us. Hermes is really the first agent that's designed from the ground up to adapt to us. And that brings us to the final question, and maybe it's the most important one. This isn't just about a cool new piece of tech. It's about a totally new way to create things. So when all those limitations are just gone, and you have an AI partner that truly adapts to you, what will you build?